Okay, hello everyone, and welcome. I think Jan, Mike, and also Jörg brought you already up to speed. Why pollen quality matters. I want to tell you more about our instruments, so the pollen analyzers. Before I actually dive into the topic, I want to tell you a recent experience that I had with the customer. So the customer was doing germination assays, and they were reaching out and they were saying, okay, we have basically no germination, but if you take the pollen, we still get seeds. So how can this be actually the case? And one example could be, okay, you're looking under the microscope, you're looking on a certain specific area, maybe you're looking at 100 pollen grains, and nothing is germinating. Maybe if the pollen viability is pretty low, then at a different spot, maybe there is something germinating. Another thing can also be, for example, that the buffer, the conditions are not right. Maybe you should have waited longer. So germination takes up to 2, 3, 4 hours even. And we call it actually the Amphasys Advantage because we really knew these dependencies and we developed a technology that doesn't have these kind of dependencies. We have a technology that has fast, simple measurements within a couple of seconds, and we need a big sample size in order to see and have a statistically relevant result. Imagine about germination. You only have looking at a couple of pollen grains. Here you are looking at 10,000. And this also enables you to have a measurement which is location independent and consistent. So if you have colleagues on the other side of the world, you can compare the results. So our technology really delivers you a universal and standardized method for pollen analysis. So what do we actually offer? So we have an Amphasys 40, which is a dedicated lab instrument, and we have also an Amphasys P20, which is a portable instrument for in-field applications. The great thing is they show the same platform. Maybe you would ask yourself, okay, Georg, you show me here 2 instruments, but why do we actually need 2 instruments? And then I can say, if you are familiar with how variety is being developed, you start at a certain point in research, you go over to breeding, production research, and then seed production, where you then produce the seeds for the farmers in the end. And you also know that the requirements are different. So for example, if you work in research, you want to optimize the age protocols, then you're working mainly in the lab, and then you also need a lab instrument, and you want to fine-tune settings. You will maybe want to accommodate the technology to your workflow. So you really need a flexible instrument, and then we have the Amphasys 40. But on the other hand, if you're working in seed production, where you want to work in the field or in the greenhouse, then we have an Amphasys P20, which is a portable instrument that you can use also for pollen quality control. So imagine you are using your pollen badge and you want to pollinate, and then you can immediately measure and you can check if the pollen is viable or not. I want to start focusing on the Amphasys P20. So the Amphasys P20 is really designed for in-field and greenhouse measurements. In-field measurements also enables to measure pollen which cannot be measured by germination in the field. So this is, for example, for short-lived pollen like wheat or corn. It also offers portability, of course, and we need portability. Then we have an operation without any laptop, so everything is integrated. This is, of course, easier handling. The core of the instrument is the automated data analysis. And this also enables us to have almost no user training. So after 2 to 3 hours, you can work with this instrument and you can create your first results. This is really the first fully portable pollen analyzer. Let's take a closer look at the instrument. So with the instrument, we have a battery. One battery lasts around for 4 hours. So with 2 batteries, you can work the whole day in the field. Then we have full connectivity with this instrument. So we have Wi-Fi, we have USB and Bluetooth on board. You can use Wi-Fi and USB for data transfer. Bluetooth, you can pair it with a QR code and barcode scanner. So for easy importing of sample names, this really speeds up your workflow. Then we have an embedded PC on board with a touch screen. If you can operate your modern smartphone, that's not a problem to operate the instrument, so it's quite intuitive. And we also have wizards implemented in the instrument. Wizards are basically step-by-step instructions that you have to follow for certain things. Here we have the rinsing wizard that shows you what to do. We also have sample preparation wizards. This helps you a lot if you want to train yourself or a new colleague on a certain application. But it also helps you, for example, if you didn't use the instrument for a couple of months, then you always can go back and look at the sample preparation, for example. As I mentioned, the heart of the P20 is also our crop-specific chips. This chip features the automated data analysis, and it also enables you to get instant results. Jörg has shown you before how normally the results look like. So each dot in the plot corresponds to one cell. With the P20, we can see here a real-time measurement where you immediately see the pollen viability, you see the duration, the aberrant cell fraction in real time. So the pollen viability, what you see here is 95%, which is pretty high, corresponds to the right part in the plot here. The aberrant cell fractions is the left lower corner, and of course the rest is then the dead population. Here the measurement is here now completed in only 35 seconds. 10,000 pollen grains were measured. Everything is really in real time done. Talking more about the automated data analysis. So we have different crop-specific chips available. We have sunflower, corn, wheat, pepper, tomato. We also have the brassicas, so the vegetables, and also canola or oilseed rape. And then we also have developed this year a new cucurbit chip. This will be available by the end of the year. So this will include melon, watermelon, and cucumber. My dear colleague Alexandra, our application scientist, she will talk later more about this. So stay tuned. And with these crop-specific chips, we really offer a standardized pollen monitoring routine. So you have really no user bias in terms of data analysis. You get it in real time, and you can also drive immediately the decision. So imagine if you're in a greenhouse, if you're a tomato producer, you can measure your pollen samples, and then you can make sure you have enough pollen viability before pollination. So now let's move over to our Amphasys 40. So the Amphasys 40, our lab pollen analyzer, it's really a versatile instrument for lab applications, and also for universal applications. So you can measure all kind of pollen with this instrument. You can change the settings. It's also very dedicated for microspore stage determination in the age production. You can also predict embryos, for example, and you can also measure pollen ploidy. That means it's really our universal pollen analyzer. If we take a closer look at the Amphasys 40, then we have different chips for different pollen sizes. But the great thing is, as they share the same platform, the P20 and the Set 40, we can also use chips with automated data analysis on the Set 40. So then you can also take advantage of the automated data analysis. We have an optimized fluidic system there that really enables you fast and accurate measurements. We have an embedded PC running on the instrument, so you just need a laptop for basically displaying the interface and to work with everything. The measurements are stored on the instrument. And we have a new software, the Amphasys Pro, and the Amphasys Pro really offers you full flexibility, so you don't need any licenses anymore. You just can take your laptop and plug it on the instrument, and then you can just download and install the software. If you go a little further in terms of the software, we now integrated templates directly in the software. For those of you who are not familiar with this term, so templates are basically the settings that you need from the instrument side to do a measurement. And let's assume you want to measure now cotton, and you never measured before. You can basically go in the software, you can load the cotton template, and then you have already a good starting point to measure. And that really enables you to fast adapt to your protocols. The great thing is also that the software is always kept up to date. So that means every time when we have a new software update, you get also new templates, if available, of course. So you don't have to copy and paste like it's before. So you can just really load it right out of the software. Another thing is, it was also inspired by the P20. We have the wizards there, and you also wanted to have on the set 40 and with the Amphasys Pro. So these are really step-by-step instructions that we guide the user through what they have to do. In the future, we will have, so quite soon, you will have sample preparation instructions also integrated, and also resources to video tutorials, so where you can go back and look how data analysis, for example, is done, how exporting is done, how importing is done, and all these things. That means you also need less user training. You can always go back and have a look at it. So the Amphasys Pro benefits are really that you need no software licenses anymore. You can connect then as many laptops you want, not at the same time, but after each other, of course. Then, as I mentioned, the templates are included. The wizards will be there, sample preparation, wizards, and maintenance. And the great thing is also, this is compatible with the crop-specific chips, so you can also use the automated data analysis. In general, we can say that it really improves and simplifies the operation. Apart from the software and the instrument, we also offer support and consultancy for our instruments. So we have different maintenance plans. With all these plans, you have unlimited technical and application support. We have 1 annual maintenance included. We can also offer you technical projects or consultancy that go a little bit further. So if you want to have pollen studies, or you want to even have custom specific applications, then you can come to us and we help you there. For our existing Z32 customers, I want to tease a little bit our trade-in offer. So the trade-in offer is valid until the end of the year, and you can trade in your Z32 for a Z40 or Ampha P20. For more information, please reach out to us and we help you there. So to summarize the presentation, we at Amphasys, we really enable systematic and pollen analysis. So what you can, coming back to the initial, what I told you about germination, you cannot do that. So you don't have a fast and simple workflow like we have with automated data analysis. And we can really say that we offer the right tool for the lab and also for in-field measurements. With this, I want to thank you very much for your attention, and I'm curious about your questions.